to this happy place, welcome.
Hey guys, it's Tim, and I'm with my beautiful wife, Audrey-Ann.
Hey.
There she is.
Hey, what's up?
You're listening to the Dreaming of Disney podcast. We're back for another new episode.
It's been so long. It does feel like it's been a long time.
So long.
It's only been 2 weeks, but it feels, time is weird because it's like time's going too fast. But then at the same time, I'm like, was it 2 weeks ago that we talked about the last day of Splash Mountain? We did record a little early because you had to go out of town. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for us, it's been like 2.5 weeks since we recorded that.
Yeah. So it's been 3 weeks since we Splash Mountain. That was the 30th.
Let's just look at a calculator.
Let's look at a calculator. It won't tell us how long it's been. We might be able to can up the days.
1, 2, 2.5, almost 3. It'll be 3 weeks on Tuesday. That's crazy. It feels like a really long time ago.
That's crazy.
Doesn't it feel like at least a month ago?
Oh, for sure.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
It's really weird.
Time.
But I hope you all, enjoyed our Splash Mountain recap. You got a chance to listen to some of our fellow Disney podcasters, their trips, their recaps from that day, Splash Mountain's last day.
Yeah.
Johnny J with the DMSW. Did I get it?
Nice.
All right. And Hannah with Learning the Magic. She just recently changed her name. Mm-hmm. Learning the Magic podcast.
Rope dropping
knowledge.
Yeah.
And so many others that were there. And
sorry if we forget.
Yeah.
Forget anyone. I'm like, there's quite a few.
And then the other content creators too that were there. Mm-hmm. The moms, the Magic Moms.
Moms with magic.
Moms with magic. They're not. Yeah, they have the magic. That was a fun time.
Sometimes.
So now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
You guys. I'm gonna be straight up honest right now. We have a little bit. I don't want to say writers block. We're not writers, but
podcasters block.
Podcast block. Yeah. Where I think too, I'm just with life.
Mm-hmm. Life,
I'm not a creative person, just generally, but like, I don't know. It's run its course. We're done. We've talked about
we talked about everything that's been talked about.
We haven't talked about. We still talk about it all the time. But it's as far as like, not but at blah, 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 words. As far as like our top 5 rides or our tips for or ranking our hotels or anything like that. Like we've done that.
Yeah.
And so. We also I've been wanting to come up with some kind of game because I like doing like the games, but
games.
I like listening to those episodes too. Like when other podcasts do games, it's fun to play along with it. Like what was it? A year and a half ago or so, we listened to one that they did like March Madness, but with all the Disney World rides. So they were doing brackets, and it was so fun to play along with, like picking the different rides and what would ours be. We kind of did that with movies.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I sit to think, and it's nothing. It's like birds chirping.
I know.
I'm just like,
and we're not the podcast like, let's recap this week's news.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, we talk about some news, but we don't like. That's usually just like a little bit. You'll bring up some news that you heard, or I'll say, "Oh, like I heard this," or but it's not like an episode of that. Anyways, We'll have more trip recaps.
We'll have more trip recaps.
You sick of the recaps?
And now that we've made all these connections with everybody, with the podcast Mics for Magic, we're gonna have some more guests.
Yes, we have plans.
We have plans to do more, and I've been talking behind the scenes with Johnny.
Behind the scenes.
We got some Star Wars content coming up.
So, did you end up reaching? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, there's some new Star Wars shows coming out. And so we don't talk about too much about Star Wars.
No.
On this podcast, mainly because you won't let me.
That's absolutely not true. You've never wanted to bring up, we talk about Star Wars all the time, but we don't really talk about movies and stuff here. Like we've done, like I just said, we did like the brackets with the movies, but we've never ranked movies or broken down movies. Like we talk more about the parks.
Yeah.
We're mainly, not that we can branch out to that, like more of the Disney World, not Disney World, like not the park
universe,
the Disney universe. And like, obviously we love the movies.
Yeah.
We just don't typically, we've talked about Star Wars and how you're a fan and how I grew up with a big brother who was always a fan. And so, I was a fan before you.
I know, but you don't really like the new stuff.
I don't like the new Star Wars. No.
So
I don't. No, I like some of the shows.
Yeah.
Like Mandalorian's okay. I don't think it's bad. I just get kind of bored. I like the Obi-Wan, which my brother did not.
Not a lot of people like the Obi-Wan.
I know, but
it's Ewan McGregor.
I'm probably going to like it. No, but I didn't. There were times going at certain parts of it where I was like, I don't mess with, because I'm very much.
Oh, I know.
I know, but don't mess with the original.
I know.
And so, but I did like it. But no, I don't like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever is out there. I don't like those.
There is no 10, but there might be.
Oh my gosh. What else is there that
of the Star Wars?
Mandalorian. I never watched Boba Fett.
Andor.
I didn't watch Andor.
And then coming up is Ahsoka, which is what Johnny and I are going to be talking about.
Nice. So. I only, what I know of all of that side is when the boys watch Clone Wars and then they will or the Bad Batch. And I pick up here and there while I'm.
It's the ice maker.
The ice maker sounded like
someone's peeing in the kitchen.
But yeah, I pick up. That's how I know who Ahsoka is. Is from them watching Clone Wars.
So, anyways,
anywho,
we'll be dropping some Star Wars content. Things. Not here, but we'll talk about it.
Not here, so we're still going to be boring.
We're but I'll let you know. Listen to such and such episode to if you're into that type of stuff. So, but anyways, we're back for a new episode of All Things Disney Parks. This week we're talking top 5 shows.
There was 6, I believe.
Well, there's an honorable mention.
Oh, was it honorable? Okay.
It was an honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
So top 5 shows. So we were debating, fireworks are a show, World of Color is a show, Fantasmic's a show.
Right.
So, our kind of idea is you're going to the parks, there's these shows, are they worth it? Fireworks, Fantasmic, World of Color, always worth it.
And those are obvious.
Yeah.
It's as we wanted to bring it down, not to too many, top 12 shows. And if we did top 5, it's that's 3 of them right there. Watch the fireworks. Yeah. And some people don't. Some people
we
don't
haven't
care.
stopped to watch this fireworks in a while.
We haven't. Can't believe this because we've been now actually we've only been twice during this fireworks. if you count Wondrous Journeys, if you count our February trip, we were in the park 2 different days where they were playing.
Yeah.
And we didn't watch them. No, they didn't have the fireworks. That's right.
Because every time we've gone, it's only been the projections.
That's right.
And
Except
it's like, it's not worth it.
Well, that's what we felt.
Yeah.
We're like, it's just the projections. It's not the fireworks. When we went in February with our friends and the friend who had never been, it was a bummer because we're like, oh, we want him to see the fireworks. But we're like, oh, it's just the projections. And so we chose to get more rides in.
Yeah.
Except when you and I went for Splash Mountain, there were the fireworks. But if you know the story, if you listen to our podcast or follow us on Instagram, we were on Splash Mountain for our very last ride during the fireworks. And it was amazing and perfect and would not trade it. Because we almost thought about watching the fireworks since we hadn't seen this one yet. But I'm so glad we didn't. But it's going away for a while for like the holiday fireworks. Supposed to be coming back then in January of 2024. Yeah. So we typically go in the winter of January, February-ish. Unless we just happen to be there.
Maybe we just take soon. A little jaunt down to Anaheim.
Maybe we just decide to go again.
We may be making a trip down to Anaheim this summer.
You never know with us.
Never know.
You never know.
Might just think, let's go.
But what was the point? Oh, you just said we hadn't watched these fireworks. Yeah. But like, there are some people who don't really care. If you go more often, and so you've seen this certain show and you choose to do rides instead, But most likely, if you've never been or you go every, years go by between your trips, you're probably going to want to watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
So we left out the big ones, like you said, like World of Color, fireworks, Fantasmic, because those you should try to get them in. They're amazing. So we were thinking more of like, the smaller shows. And when I was looking at the list on the app, I mean, they count even like the what are their names? Not the Dapper Dans, but the there's just the little bands that play on Main Street as like a show. So they have quite a few.
Yeah.
So anyways, these are ones that we think it's worth your time to try to get in on your trip.
Yeah. So first off, we're going to start with our honorable mention.
Yes.
So we said top 5, 6. This one, if you can do it and you have little kids, it might be worth just to go check out the Disney Junior live show, which is in California Adventure
in Hollywoodland.
Hollywood. And we haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
Or older, but it's a good. When we went last time, our older kids are now
3 of the 4
or younger, but it's a good opportunity. It's like interactive. They can get up, jump around, dance. So if they need
which I think they've even shake their wiggles out.
Shake their wiggles.
Shake their sillies out.
Shake their sillies out.
The Raffi song. It's probably changed too since we have done it. But like, if your kids are really into Disney Junior shows, like they're probably going to get a kick out of it. I just thought of another honorable mention. It's not there right now, but just in case they bring it back. If they bring back Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Oh yeah, do it.
That's a good one.
You'll get a kick out of it.
That was in Tomorrowland, right?
Yeah, where like Captain EO was also.
That's a throwback.
They also had like the Star Wars
Path of the Jedi.
That was good.
Was really good. That came out right before Force Awakens, so that was around 2015 or so.
Yeah. But if they ever bring back Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, or if they bring It's Tough to Be a Bug from Animal Kingdom out here, that's a good one.
It was Tough to Be a Bug.
That's right. It was in a Bugs Land, and we never did it, and we never knew it until we talked about doing it on the podcast, and a friend of ours was like, it used to be in Bugs Land, and we loved Bugs Land, but we've never been big on shows.
Yeah.
And so we never, we're like, that's right. It was. We just never did it. And it's like, bummer, because it's a good one. It's a good one. But anyways, honorable mention, if they bring back Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, it's fun. I thought of that when I was like, oh, that's right. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they're not doing anything in that theater in Tomorrowland next to Space Mountain.
I wonder if they're working on anything.
Yeah, hopefully they'll bring something in there. So that's honorable mention, the Disney Junior live show. So number 5, this is in California Adventure in the animation building
In Hollywood.
Turtle Talk with Crush.
Yes.
Now, we've done this a million times.
Right.
It gets old.
But
if you haven't done it, you got little kids, it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. The first several times we did it.
Yeah.
It was funny. And even every once in a while now, it's still funny. We've just done it a lot, so we know what's coming.
All the bits. Yeah.
But it's a good one. And the kids love it. Like the boys still love it, even though they've like done it a million times. You know, all the kids can sit up on the rug and they'll, you know, get a chance to ask questions. Now, prepare your child. They might not get called on.
Yes.
Because we've had many a meltdown.
Oh my gosh.
Because they raised their hand but didn't get called on. But yeah, it's funny, and you know, kids love it.
It's been getting a lot of attention on social media lately.
Oh, has it?
Just, you know, people are, you know, mainly adults asking.
Wasn't there someone that proposed to their girlfriend during it, and that was going around? There was another one with like Lakers fans and Warriors fans, basketball references, and that was going around. And so, but yeah, it's been hitting the social media feeds lately. So, but it's fun.
It is.
Now, if you don't have little kids, like if say you're going without kids or you have teenagers,
yeah, you could probably skip it.
You might get a kick out of it, but it's not going to be as interactive for you because most likely your like 17-year-old kid isn't going to be sitting on the rug asking a question. But there are still some funny jokes.
Yeah.
So like if you have time and like you're like it's all in the summer, it's a nice break, air conditioning, you know. Like you probably still get a kick out of it. It's just not going to be the same as if your kids aren't little. But
because when Crush asks the kid the question, or the kid asks Crush the question, then he asks like, "Where's your parents?"
Yeah, and he'll talk to the parents.
And so like that's kind of how that, you know, they're both involved. And so if you don't have kids,
but you'll still probably you could get a kick out of what they're talking to the people about. Like it's still funny. So
yeah,
you know, I've seen adults in there that don't have kids.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So going on to number 4. This one's much more low key. The Dapper Dans.
That's right. I said Dapper Dans.
Yeah.
I put this in there because it is considered entertainment. So on the app, I was just looking at like, okay, I want to make sure I'm looking at the options that are, you know, available right now. And there's like attractions and then entertainment. So these were like entertainment. If you see the Dapper Dans out on Main Street, like it's good to stop and watch.
Iconic.
It's iconic. Main Street, Disneyland, or Disney World. They're pretty funny, and they're obviously very talented. They'll you know, they make jokes and stuff too. They don't just sing, but they'll also have like different instruments like windpipes and things, and just very entertaining and very just classic and.
Yeah, I remember when we were there last time, you know, they sometimes play in front of the firehouse on Main Street in Disneyland. And we were just all going to the bathroom before our trip out.
Yeah, before we left. And they were playing right there. And we just kind of sat there and watched them for a little bit. Yeah. We kind of had to pull ourselves away too because we were like, all right, we were like running late to leave. We needed to leave before Georgia fell asleep in the park. So she'd fall asleep in the car, and I could have stood there a lot longer and watched them. And they're funny. You know, it's the boys still tell the joke they were singing in Disney World. They were riding the trolley that goes down Main Street, and they were singing "If You're Happy and You Know It." Oh yeah. And then at the end they said, "Give me $1." And like the boys thought that was hilarious, and like they'll still do that when they sing it to Georgia. But yeah, so like if you see them out, like I stop. stop and watch them for a bit because that's fun.
All right. So number 3, this is a dual coaster. So they have this on, well, I guess they all
Dual coaster?
Well, I think they have on.
Oh, coast. Like West Coast,
West Coast, East Coast.
Gotcha.
I guess, they.
I was saying roller coaster.
All these they have on both sides.
What are you talking about?
So, but I think we went to this first in Disney World.
I'm honestly forgetting what we talked about our list. Like what's on our list.
So Magic.
Mickey's Magic.
Mickey's Magic.
Yes, we did it first in Disney World. Yeah. We didn't know it was in Disneyland.
Well, it's just the shows aren't as popular in Disneyland.
That's okay.
That's at least that's how we feel.
We could be wrong. But from what we have seen on Instagram, listened to on podcast, and then witnessed when we went to Disney World, and again, we've only been once, it seemed like there were more shows and that they were just more of like a must do when we would listen to different podcasts or watch different Instagram accounts. Like, okay, what should we do on our trip? Because we had never been. And then they came up a lot more. We had never, I don't know if it was just us personally had never been into shows that much, or if it is like Disneyland is more about like rides and food. I don't know. That is our observation, and that could just be us as a family. I don't know. Yeah. But I wonder how long Mickey's PhilharMagic has been in Disneyland, because that used to be, it used to be the Frozen Ever After sing along, which is permanent in Disney World. Please bring back to Disneyland. Yeah, it's a really good one. I love it. Yeah. It was Muppets 3D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I feel like we watched something else there.
Did you find it?
Mickey's PhilharMagic opens April 26th. And this article is from 2019. And it says, last month, the Disneyland Resort announced that a version of the Magic Kingdom popular 3D movie, Mickey's PhilharMagic, would be coming to Disney California Adventure April 26th. And this article is from 2019. So I'm assuming they're talking about 2019. So it hasn't been there that long. So we wouldn't have known about it probably because we went, so April 2019, we would have gone that summer, and then we would have gone in the winter of 2020.
Yep.
And then it shut down.
Yep.
And then I guess we did go summer of 21 or 20.
Yep. 21.
Yep. Before we went to Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
But it hadn't been in Disneyland that long before the shutdown.
Yeah. Okay.
About a year, a little less than a year before the shutdown, it was in Disneyland. So, anyways, did you guys really care about it?
You should go do it. It's number 3 on our list. It's fun.
Okay. That was a long tangent. Leave it to us for the tangents. Okay. Especially like if you're really into Disney music, then it's great.
Yeah.
It has like tons of classic Disney songs. If you grew up in the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Best decade.
Okay, that's not true at all, but okay.
Some of the best music in the 90s.
Good music in the 90s. Anyways.
Like Ace of Base. Can't go wrong with Ace of Base.
Love Ace of Base. Anyways, another tangent. I'm sorry, but I just saw this on a reel today. That Don't Turn Around is a remake.
I saw that reel too.
Tina Turner? It's a Tina Turner remake.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, what? I was like, what?
What?
Wait. Does it just say what? Oh my gosh, we just watched it. What does he say?
We're Parks and Rec reference here. Wait, what? What?
Anyway, when Ben drinks the blueberry wine. Okay. Anyways, Ace of Base remake. It wasn't the original song. Back to Mickey's PhilharMagic. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Has some, like
the 3D is really cool.
Yeah, the 3D is super fun. And I definitely think it's worth It's worth doing. Yeah, we did it when we were there in February and with the kids, and yeah. It's a good show.
All right, number 2. We just did this back a couple weeks ago, about a month ago.
First time we had done it.
Yeah, first time we've ever done it. Tale of the Lion King.
Amazing.
That's in Disneyland. Was it the Fantasy No.
Oh shoot, what is that theater called? Right,
across from
Small World, and like if you're walking to Toontown, it's going to be on your left. It's where the Mickey's
Magical Map used to be.
I don't know what the theater is called. Let's see if I can find it on the map. But so okay, now we have never, unfortunately, I think we talked about this in our recap from when we took our kids a couple months ago, or a month ago. But we've never seen the Broadway show. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to, but I've never had a chance. But this was like so good that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'd be in tears the whole time if I ever get to see the Broadway show. Like, it did bring tears to my eyes, and I had a huge smile on my face the entire time. Like, I couldn't stop smiling. Like, my cheeks hurt. Like, it was so good.
The performers were just amazing.
So good. Fantasy Theater. Fantasyland Theater. I'm sorry. Okay. Fantasyland Theater. It was actually, when we were first talking about this list, it was our number 1 show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll see what we changed it to, and we'll explain why. But we had wanted to do it the last couple of times because our son Noah loves The Lion King. And we're like, oh, we've never done that. Now, I'm so curious because in Animal Kingdom, there's Festival of the Lion King.
I believe it's different.
Which we didn't get to do. We thought about, sorry, keep hitting the mic. I thought about it, but then we were just, we had never been there. So it was like, oh, okay, let's go do this. And then later I think I brought it up and you were like, what is there? I was like, there's like a show, Lion King, something. But it was like overwhelming. We had never been. And yeah. So we didn't get to do it. And so I'm curious, maybe if we have the time when we go in August
to check
it out. We'll see. That day is going to be a park hop day. So I'm not sure, but, yeah, I'm curious to see if it's different because that's Festival of the Lion King. This is Tale of the Lion King. Mm-hmm. But fabulous. We had thought about doing it in February. There was one day we were there with all of our friends and they had show times, but we didn't get a chance to do it. And then when we were there, just us and our kids, they didn't have show times that day. So we didn't do it. So they don't have it every day.
Yeah.
So if you see it, if you're there on a day where they have show times, but you're like, oh, we're coming back. They might not.
You should do it. Just do it.
They don't do it every day. And it's so worth it.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. Like you said, the performers are amazing. Their energy is great. There's so much talent.
Try to sit up close too, because they interact with the audience, the performers.
Well, they come out into the audience though.
That's what I meant.
We were like halfway back, and it was still.
But we were still pretty far up though. The theater went like way far back up.
That's true.
So we were at like the first or second row of the second section.
Yeah.
And so they come up way far, and high-fiving and all that kind of stuff. And so if you're into the the interaction type things, it's good to sit up closer. And
the days they do have show times, it was fairly often. It was like every
30 minutes or 45 minutes.
or so.
Something like that throughout the day.
Definitely worth doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah, for sure. So number 1, the parade.
Yes. Which we went back and forth. Should this be grouped with like Fireworks, World of Color, Fantasmic? Yeah. But those were like nighttime spectaculars. And this is typically has a like afternoon show and then an evening show, unless it's a nighttime one like Main Street Electrical or Paint the Night.
Yeah.
When it's lit up, those are just at night. And the reason we switched this one to number 1 is because it appeals to a grander audience. You know, it has tons of different characters where it's like, if you're like, I didn't like The Lion King, which I've never heard anyone say that. But if you really don't like The Lion King or The Lion King music, and so you're like, I'm not going to go see Tale of the Lion King, you know, the parade has a lot of different variety.
Yeah.
You know, so it's usually really good, fun music. We were just on YouTube watching back previous parades because I was really trying to find this one parade of this song that got stuck in our heads, and it is
still stuck in our heads.
I have it on my phone as a ringtone. Trying to figure out when it was, and then watching the one from the 50th. On YouTube, you can see that the crowds were way lower.
Yeah.
I was like, look at that back in 2005.
But it's interesting how like the styles have changed.
Yeah.
Just in the last years with this, like the style of the music and then the style of the dancing.
And the costumes.
And the costumes, the choreography and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
how, you know, how it's, you know, it's changed with the genres and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, that was
interesting.
almost 20 years ago.
I know.
That's insane. They're going to be coming up on the 70th in a year and a half.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
insane. I feel like I just went for the 50th. Not really. It feels like a long time ago, but I did go and I saw the parade. But yeah, like it's fun. We didn't do it the last time with our kids, and then we did it when we were there for Splash Mountain, and I was like, man, I wish, because we've done it with the boys so many times, but Georgia hasn't seen a parade yet because they didn't bring it back right away when they reopened. And then when we were there with all of the kids earlier in May, I kept wanting to, but it just wasn't working out. It's like you need to, especially now, you didn't used to need to camp out as early as you do now. And actually, when we were there for Splash Mountain, it was about an hour.
We waited about an hour.
We just happened to see, we were just walking from Tomorrowland and we just saw this big chunk of curb. And I was like, go, like, get it. Because, and I will say though, it's nice when they have 2 show times.
Yeah.
When we were there last summer and they were doing Main Street Electrical Parade, people were camping out. I'm not even kidding. 2 hours ahead of time.
Probably
because
even more.
We were walking through about an hour before. I want to say it was even a little more than an hour before. You were going to take the boys to do something, and I was just going to park with Georgia, and I couldn't find a spot.
Yeah.
Like in the Main Street area around the partner statue, like I could not find a spot. I had to go way over by Small World, and then still it was kind of difficult. Like hours before, where this was an hour before. There are 2 show times for the current parade, and like we got a good spot.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's nice when there's more than one show time for the parade. Rumors. I posted this in our stories the other day.
Yes.
Rumors that Paint the Night is coming back next year, 2024. I really hope so. We love that parade. The boys don't remember it. They would typically fall asleep and we would not be able to wake them up. Like we would try and be like, look, we parked out for the parade. And they would, at that point of the day, be like, no. And they would just like turn over in the stroller and like purposely fall asleep. We'd be like, the parade.
Such a good one. It's
but
so
good. They had like the little paint brushes that you could buy that lit up with the music.
Yeah.
We never bought them because they were like $20. And I was like, it's only going to work for this one parade for like 30 minutes. And then what's the point? But it was cool when other people bought them and you saw them light up.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so the parade is super fun. If you have small kids, the characters, the dancers come up, they wave. A lot of the characters do too. The fairy godmother talk to us. Donald comes up and shakes his butt in your face. It's just good music. Fun,
it's good.
Fun for everybody.
It is.
So if you can find it in your heart.
Fight in your heart.
No, but I mean, if you carve out some time for the parade, it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's a good show.
Yeah. So that's our top 5 plus honorable mentions of 6.
Plus a big, because I know the Disney company listens to this, to bring Frozen sing along back, which then they'd have to get rid of Mickey PhilharMagic because I don't know where else they would put it.
Yeah.
Hyperion Theater is way too big.
I forgot to mention. So another honorable mention.
Wait,
although
I'm
we have
talking about Frozen.
I know.
Frozen sing along is amazing.
I've been trying to think of what I knew there was something I wanted to mention, but I couldn't think of it.
Go.
And so I wanted to mention it before I forgot. Starting June 30th, Rogers the Musical starts at the Hyperion Theater in California Adventure. If you don't know what the Rogers Musical is, it's a musical, a fake musical from
Hawkeye.
From Hawkeye, the Disney Plus series, which is...
Oh, yeah, I watched Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah, you watched Hawkeye.
I watched that one. Oh, wait,
that's
not
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
It's not Star Wars, Marvel.
Never mind.
But, so there's a scene in that show where they created a musical based on the Avengers.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Really funny.
It's super funny. And so they're bringing that fake musical to the real stage at California Adventure starting June 30th. And it's only running for the summer, I believe.
Isn't it only running for like a month? Or is it for the whole summer?
I don't know exactly how long, but it's not for very long.
Well, we'll keep you posted if we just happen to make a little quick trip and see it. Not that any of our kids would enjoy it because they haven't watched any. They're not really into Marvel.
Not into Marvel.
Yeah.
So
we're trying to show them some things and they're just like,
yeah.
They will be at some point. But yeah, it's probably going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Hyperion's a big theater. Have you ever been in there?
No.
I have.
Cool. Good for you.
First place choir champions,
That's right.
2004.
You performed in there.
That ages me, but I did not.
You didn't perform?
No, we did not perform. The performances were not on Disneyland.
Oh.
My freshman year, we got to sing backstage at Disneyland. Like we got to go into one of their studios behind Toontown. And we talked to a lady. She was like the music director or something. She sang for the fireworks. And they taught us this little section of Be Our Guest and the harmonies. And we got to record it.
That's cool.
But then, no, this was my senior year. Our choir festival was off. It was just at like a high school in Anaheim. But then our award ceremony was at the Hyperion Theater.
Okay.
And for our division... we got first place.
Rock star. You're
one
such
of
a rock
like
star.
the best moments of my life.
Guys, I'm married to
it really
a
was.
rock
You guys,
star.
I peaked my senior year of high school because it really was a great moment. It really was. I remember it like very clearly.
That's cool.
I stepped on my friend Mindy's toes because we all started jumping up and down and screaming when we won, and I stepped on her toes and she got mad at me. I'm sorry, Mindy.
Well, I'm sure she forgives you now.
I hope so. It was a very long time ago.
And then
we took our trophy and we ran over to Disneyland and we rode Pirates of the Caribbean with it because Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie, had come out that year, or in 2003. It came out my senior year. So it was like, we were all obsessed.
For sure.
And so we rode the ride with our trophy.
I'm surprised they let you do that.
It was almost closing because when we got out of the Hyperion Theater, the park was closed. California Adventure was closed. And we had to wait for a long time because a kid in our school passed out. And so we had to wait for like an ambulance to show.
Oh, and by the way, there was
he was
a medical
fine.
emergency.
He was fine. And then, so when we got out, the park was closed. So we like left California Adventure when it was closed. It was weird. Like everything was dark and turned off. So like we were walking down Hollywood and like it didn't look as big. Like it was weird. It was like, this doesn't look as big as they make it. Like the illusion, like a lot of the illusion is like the lighting,
And that was like the original California Adventure.
Yes. This was in 2004.
Yeah, so it was before the remodel.
But so we ran very quickly to Pirates of the Caribbean, and like the park was closing. And why wouldn't they let us take our trophy? What were they going to do? Like, no, you got to leave that?
They do about other stuff, so I don't know.
Well, there was a bunch of dorky choir kids running all over the park, so they just... Good times.
Yep.
Hit my peak.
No. You're pretty awesome, though. So, our challenge to me... What? I didn't even know what that means.
Our challenge.
My challenge for us.
No, I like it the first one better. Our challenge to me. Okay. What is our challenge?
Was to keep this episode under 40 minutes.
Are we there?
We're at 43. Oh. So that means we got to shut this thing down.
Okay. I had another question, but I'll save it for another time.
Okay. So those were our top shows. I hope you find those interesting.
Yes, check
and
them
insightful.
out.
So next time you're going, you have time for shows, or it's a hot day and you're like, want to rest your feet, check out some of those shows.
Yeah.
May help you out. So if you want more tips, if you want more insider knowledge, go check somebody else out because we don't have that. No, I'm kidding.
We have tips, but we also will just talk about our love of Disneyland and get you excited or reminisce.
Yeah.
But we get excited about Disneyland trips for ourselves, for other people. My niece is going in August. She hasn't been in a very long time. When we took her, it wasn't her last time going. I thought it was. We took her, 12 years ago, more than. Yeah. She has been since then, but it's been a really long time. She's going in August, and she texted me and asked me some things, and I was like, text me anything you want. I love talking about this. So I'm so excited for it. My aunt just went to Tokyo Disneyland yesterday.
Yeah. And
Disneyland Sea or Tokyo Disney Sea. So we get excited for other people. We just love talking about, so you want to hear about exciting Disneyland things? You want to feel like you're there? Listen. You want some tips? Listen. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can. Dreaming.of.disney.podcast. We post some funny stuff. We post some interesting stuff. We post some other stuff too. So about Disney. Yeah. So give us a follow. And if you like what you listen to, please leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate it. We'll give you a shout out. We will. And I thought you were messaging me like you're going to say something. No, we will. We'll talk about you. Yeah. Yeah. And if you have questions too, you can send us a message. We'll answer you live on air. Absolutely. And we had a listener message us, and we dedicated an entire episode. Ashley dedicated an entire episode to her questions. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us. So follow us on Instagram, leave us a review. Greatly appreciate it. Yes. So thanks for listening. You're listening to the Dreaming of Disney podcast, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.